What's really going on this go round? Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this your boy, Black Earl, aka Dr. Haas. Some call me Earl Nelson Jr., some call me Scooty, some call me Black Boy, and everybody calls me when they in trouble. You heard me? Or when they need something. Anyway, this is Doctor's Orders. Once again, thank everybody who has returned to hear they boy for this the fourth episode, y'all. We in the mix. We really are trying to stretch it out. Hope everybody had a very happy and safe New Year, and hope everybody started their 2019 off the way that they wanted to. I know I kind of have and have not, but I ain't even tripping because I'm just blessed to be alive. Amen. Y'all know what it is. Anyway, nothing much really going on this go round. Same thing, different day though. Hustle always ain't stopping. I'm looking for some guests, man. I'm looking for some guests. I'm tired of being on this thing one deep. I mean, we got a couple of things in the holster. Don't get me wrong. I know I've been promising y'all a second or third party on the mic with me, but that's really coming. That's in the works. We already got some things chopped up. I ain't gonna tell you who it is just yet. And you know, put it like this: everybody got their 15 minutes of fame, or everybody famous to 15 people, whatever you want to call it. So it may not be famous or popular to you, but at the same time, it's somebody that you do need to be recognizing, and he is a force to be reckoned with. But we ain't gonna go on and on about that. And shout out anybody that wants to come and holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Anybody wants to come jump on and have a little interview, a little talk, a little round table with your boy, Black Girl, just give me a holler, man, on social. Y'all already know how to get at me. And if y'all don't, basically Black Earl HAAS at anything will get you where you need to get me at. But we'll run through all of that towards the end. Stick with me and bear with me. We'll give you the info you guys need. Nothing real major on the daily diagnosis. I guess everybody's already up to par on knowing that the government has been shut down since December 22nd. My birthday, by the way. Way to go, 45. But yeah, man, it's the truth be told, they need to come to some type of conclusion and some type of resolution. If it goes on any longer, a lot of the government assistance, government assistant programs will be not in function. Anybody with them checks, them disability checks, social security checks, food stamps, and of the big kicker, everybody's income tax return can be delayed, messing with this situation. I'm understanding this all behind the wall. I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm just gonna say we hope for the best. We're hoping that all of our voices are heard during this period, because people ain't getting paid, man. It ain't just all of the Americans out here that's gonna be hurt. Like the government officials and workers, they don't have a job right now. Like, they not getting their check, bro. They got families to feed too. Christmas just hit them just like they hit everybody else. So we're gonna pray it up for them, man. Hope everything gets resolved soon. I hope. In other news, man, not even news, just what's really trending and what's the word. Bird Box ain't really what's popping like it was all the last couple of weeks. R. Kelly situation seemed to take care of that, wiping that away from the public eye. So I haven't seen it. I don't watch Lifetime, but this surviving R. Kelly situation is getting kind of out of hand. It's getting sticky. We seeing all kind of business rise to the top, which is very fitting that I speak on rise to the top, or at least coming to the forefront, because that's basically what our topic of discussion and the name of the episode today is. The cream rises to the top. Getting back to that boy Kelly. Long story short, a lot of these old stories or situations, what was done in the dark is all coming to the light. He's actually looking at a few charges. So we'll see what goes on with that situation, and as that progresses, we'll all have our eyes peeled on that. So yeah, that's basically it for the latest diagnosis, man. We'll just roll straight off into the double dose, man. And like I said, it's all about the cream rises to the top, ladies and gentlemen. and the proof is definitely in the pudding in that one, man. There's no way around it, bro. I mean, I know as children coming up, they like to tell us in school, you can be what you want to be. You can do anything you put your mind to. Yes, that's also that's very correct. That's very correct. But I mean, I guess the best way to put it is you have to be self-aware to know your situation and your truth. Because the truth be told, not everybody's built for everything. So, and you could wake up one day and think that you can do something, or you could put your mind on doing something, and you might not be willing to put in the work that it takes to get there. You might not be able to accept defeat or disappointment, not being able to accomplish something. You have to build character and courage, and you have to know how to take an L occasionally. Um, you know, I mean, basically put it, man. You have to be the best of the best in whatever it is that you want to do. And like I said, some of us are blessed to know the direction that we want to go, like know about it early, be able to hone it and really work on the craft or the career or the skill set, if you will, that'll carry you on to the next level of what you enjoy in life. I knew at a very young age that I wanted to do something music related. Definitely something that had to do with a lot of math, a tad bit of science, um, and I knew I wanted to do. I want to speak. You know, I never really felt like as much of a leader until maybe towards my high school years. I kind of felt more like in a leadership role because I just started to notice when it came to taking on responsibilities or just handling problems face on. I was one of those. I was one of those people that kind of rose to the top, if you will. Um, you started to separate myself from the crowd, as in decision making or just understanding the people. Just being a down to earth type cat. That was just me. Um, to the point where I would be like president of this or vice president of that or representative of this. Every other year it was something different, and thank God for that. I was able to see that. I also knew I wanted to use my voice definitely, um, just because of the type of style and charisma that my voice carries, if you will. Um, Being an artist is not enough when it comes to making the music. That lets my creativity flow. I love it. That's dope. But there's also other aspects of my mind that I may not be able to touch a particular audience through music, and vice versa. Um, Through this podcast, I'm able to give you a little bit of everything. I can give you all sides of me in the same program, if you will. There's certain things that I won't be able to elaborate as well on yet because I'm just beginning in this platform of the podcast and the public speaking. But I've been rapping and singing half my life. So I'll be able to touch that audience in a way that this audience won't. It's just you have to find your niche and really drive it home. So when I say being the best of the best, you have to do what the rest not doing if you want to be the best of the better crew. And even in that case, there's gonna be somebody that's blessed with more talent out the gate, blessed with more intelligence out the gate, or blessed with more beauty or strength or whatever it may be. Um, there's something that they're weaker at than you are stronger. Um, or a better way to say it is like this: what God has for them, it is for them, and what God has for you, it is for you. Our responsibility as young men and women is to discover and find out what it is we're here for. And I know that's kind of going deep. I know some of y'all are like, man, I'm supposed to find my life purpose as a juvenile. No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is find out what you gravitate towards. And if it's something positive, you keep it going and double down on it. Now, if it's kind of in a negative direction, you need to find a way to hone that in a positive form. You know, Don't go out here crash. But at the same time, it's more or less about leaning towards what you're strong at, finding your strengths, developing your strengths, and doubling down on it. In that sense, the cream will rise to the top. The best in you will come out. It will rise to the top. It will come to the forefront if you're focusing on the positives that you already have going on. It'll happen for you. In most cases, when it comes to mastering something, you have to have some type of mentor. In our case, parents, guardians, aunts, uncles, teachers, coaches. These are all people um, that'll take us under their wing, if you will, and help us discover what that is that makes us tick, that makes us want to keep things, um, that makes us want to wrap our gift up in a nice, tight little package and deliver it to the world. I mean, an athlete, his biggest pride is to go out there on his court or on his field or in his craft and excel in front of all of the fans, his friends, his family, those haters in the hood, those enemies of his. It's that's his dream. The artist wants to perform his music in front of crowds, wants his music heard worldwide. The actors want everyone to see their shining moment, their motion picture. It's like, regardless of the field you in, everybody wants to be the best, and their moment to shine is really what they're focused on and what they're counting on. And if you don't look forward to shining in something, man, you living a dry life, bro. You living a dry, dead end life, and you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and just ask yourself, what makes you tick? How do you want to rise? Where do you want to be seen? What position would you like to be in the forefront of? Take advantage of that, man, because it doesn't happen overnight, but when it does happen, man, that's life changing. You gotta set those goals up, man. Every time you reach a goal, you should be at least drawing out another to reach for. I mean, will you get to it? Will you get it done? Will you get it accomplished? That we don't know that. It's all dependent on your work ethic, but just to have something to reach for, and just to put yourself in some type of classification or a group. And I'm not meaning that in a negative way. I'm saying if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You gotta push your boundaries. You gotta be around other creams of the crop, if you will. You gotta be around other folks that rise to the top. You can't be around the mediocre. You can't be around the average. You definitely can't be around the negative and I don't want to say misfortunate. I'm really drawing a blank, but for lack of a better term, the dark side people, the people that look at everything on the dark side. Stay away from those folks, man. Stay away from them. If you want to be on top of your game, you have to plan, plot, strategize, carry out your agenda. You have to remain humble through it all, because the people that you pass up on the way up, on the rise, on your come down, you have to face those same folks. So by no means don't do anybody dirty. Treat everyone with respect. That's the only way to get respect, is to give it, earn it, and demand it. Yes, sir. And that right there, that wraps up your double dose. So just remember, the cream gonna always rise to the top. So moving right along, jumping off into that truth pill. Today's excerpt. Shout out to Jay Prince, man. Honestly, that whole thing about giving respect, earning respect, and demanding respect, that comes from him, man. Shout out to that boy Aaron Foster, that Now What podcast. Classic, man. Classic. Listen to it early and often. Great podcast. Great listen. Give that a big ups when you get a chance. But this excerpt. Excuse me for the tongue twist. Goddamn. This excerpt. I said it again. From The Art and Science of Respect That's that memoir by James Prince. It just came out, man. If y'all haven't read that, man, jump on that ASAP fast, man. I got some real nuggets from that book, man. I read it cover to cover. Well, actually, man, it was my first time jumping on that Kindle. I read it on my tablet through Amazon Kindle, basically an ebook. Um, I loved it. I loved the book itself, and I loved the experience of reading it off my tablet because it was much different than a traditional book. But anyway, jumping straight into it, uh, he said, and I quote, "As long as you're putting out product on a regular basis, showing improvement each time, your fan base will grow." And that's coming from James, man. That's coming from the Prince himself. Uh, very that touched me deeply because I'm as you already know, I'm an aspiring, if not a persistent artist already. I believe those words vividly. Um, I can guarantee you the first song that I ever put out sounds nothing like the last one I just put out, and nothing like the songs I'm gonna put out in the future. It's all gonna be better each go round. Each body of work supposed to get better with age like wine. So we're gonna continue to push that focal point on to the youth, man, to the young G's, because everybody want it right away, man. This is a microwave generation. I say it often, but I mean that. Everybody wants shit immediately. You have to put in some type of hustle and some type of grind. But the thing about it is, everybody worrying about they following, they fan base, and it's not just artists out here. I'm talking about all you young entrepreneurs, anybody that's got a business that they trying to get off the ground. It starts off slow, or nobody really messing with them like that. Nobody wants your product, but it's the beginning. Like, what do you expect? Keep on doing it. Be very consistent and persistent and throwing stuff out there for people to see. And uh, immediately, you'll see a small growth in your audience, your following, in your business area. Man, you're gonna see it. It's gonna come to you, but it has to be a consistent thing. Continue. Keep pushing through the no's. You're gonna get your 9 no's to get to your yes 9 times out of 10. Or you might go your 99 to get to your 1 out of 100. Whatever you gotta do. I mean, it is what it is. But the more you do that, one go tell another and another and another. And if 2 people tell 2 people, that's 4 people. You know what I'm saying? They go double up. That's 8 people know who you is. And they go double up. 16 gonna know. I mean, you just gotta keep it going. It's just like a tournament bracket, man. You can break this shit down and make the whole region, and then the whole nation, and then you get the whole world. It could happen like that, but you gotta start with your neighbor. You dig? And if your neighbor say no, then move on to the next song. And if folks on this street ain't feeling it, go to the next street. And if folks down around the corner don't feel it, man, go to the next neighborhood. And if that neighborhood don't feel it, you understand what I'm saying? If your city ain't down with it, go somewhere else to where they might be down with it. If your state ain't down with it, move. You dig? But whatever you do, continue to put out some type of content. Keep putting your product out there. Keep delivering your service. All you artists, keep putting your art out there. Make sure people see that, because that's how you gonna get the fan base, and that's how you gonna get your dollars. So that is what it is, man. Yes, indeed. Very easy to recognize real game when you hear it, and moving right along with even more game to get you through your day, your week, and your 2019 in general. I hit you with the refill. Now today's refill, that comes out of Matthew 7:24. Is it? Hold on, give me a second. I'm not prepared. Forgive me. Yes, it's Matthew 7:24, and it goes, "Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock." Okay, that was pretty deep too. Okay, like I think I'm getting what it's trying to say, because it was kind of wordy with the ifs and all that. and I know you understand what I mean. But I guess what it's saying is when you're building something, a structure. Well, in this case, when you're building your life, your life purpose, when you're building upon that, um, you need a solid and a proper foundation. You have to be on something strong. I mean, when you think about building a structure, you're starting from the ground up. And before they start erecting the walls and the beams of the structure, you usually see an area that's been bulldozed over and ran over a few times with the caterpillar, and then they've usually poured some type of concrete slab. You know, they've prepared a place to build upon, something strong, sturdy, and level, to build upon. And when it comes to the same thing of your goals and just living life in general, you got to have some type of moral system, and you got to have some type of structure, and that's what the word is, man. Like I say, you may not be a believer, you may not be a Christian, you may not be this or that, but just even if not, apply it to what you're actually doing with yourself in your lifetime right now these days. You have to have something solid to build upon, or else all of your time, your energy, your resources, your knowledge, just anything that you'd have to sacrifice your personal time and effort for, that's wasted if you don't build it on some type of firm background. I say it all the time: you stand for something, or you fall for anything, and that's just realistic, man. That's just real, straight to the subject, hardcore. You need that nugget. You gotta know what you're building upon. Um, Cause think about it. I mean, you build those beams on a solid foundation such as a concrete slab. If the earth trembles, if the wind blows, if some type of force of nature or man-made mechanism. I mean, we've seen a lot these days. People do the most to get you out of position, or to gain access to your inner sanctuary, into your living quarters, into where you do your business. People will find their way to force their way in, or knock it down. And if it's on concrete, it's incredibly hard to do because everything is strengthened, if you will, by the base. The whole house stands upon it and won't be denied when pressure is applied. If you feel what I'm saying. Now let's flip it up a little bit. Say you're building that same home on sand. You know, any drift of the breeze will push half of your foundation up from underneath your house, and if ain't nothing up to hold the house up, then guess what? It's gonna crumble. It's gonna fall. You're gonna fail if it's something that you're trying to accomplish, on a personal level, and it's hard, man. It's very hard out there because the way that this world is set up, um, it's almost uncool to live a righteous life. It's almost not popular. Um, I mean, in other words, the way that we view the world is like what's in, or what's seen as fun, or what's entertaining. That people will push you away from what's really the word of God and what's the righteous way of living. It'll do everything to pull you in the opposite direction. And we have to be strong individuals. We have to be built for it, tough, and be able to know when to hold them, when to fold them. We got to know right from wrong. We got to be able to decipher right from wrong. More than just on a visionary issue. You have to feel it. You have to feel it within. You have to know. You have to know better. And when you know better, you'll show better. They say if you knew better, you do better. Well, now that you know better, then show better. And that's really something that I hold close to my heart, and I hope more individuals understand that it's not necessarily um, a bunch of what you can't do when it comes to God's word. It's more or less about the celebration of what you can and the being humble enough to understand what God is asking you to do is not any chore. You should be very grateful and pleased and thankful that you are able to do that. And all He really wants you to do is spread His word and live right. Treat all these other human beings with much respect. And I truly feel like if everybody can grasp onto that, their life in general will be much easier. The population will get along much better than they are. Not to get deep into politics, but 45 has had its fair share of things to trip us up with and divide us as a country. And I think if there was more of God's word in the mix, in the White House coming trickling on down into the city streets of our nation, things would it would be lubrication to this heavy machinery here. It'll make things move a tad bit better. But with all due respect, that ain't none of my business in the first place. But as long as I can touch somebody, you know, and once that happens, each one teach one. You have to be able to distinguish a balance in what you do in your life, and you have to find out what's really more righteous. And even if it's not necessarily the word of God, you have to find something to believe in. And once you do, um, you need to allow that to be your foundation, um, and make sure that it's solid as a rock, and you will be just fine. Promise. Put the highs on it. Yes, sir. And yeah, that brings us to the end of discussions for today. It's been a pleasure once again. Just wrapping things up. I just want you guys to know this has been a journey trying to figure out a way to stay in your face just a little bit more because I'm a busy fella, and so is everybody around me. Man, my entire circle is 100% hustlers, straight to the point go getters. Very motivational to me because to break it all down, man, I mean, it's just from point A to point B, from the people I've known from 20 years ago to folks I'd have met 2, 3 years ago. The people closest to me motivate me in every way, and they'll all be incorporated in this podcast at some point, in some shape, form, or fashion. Definitely on the microphone for sure. Doing a few interviews with me, just so that you guys can get to know half as well as I do. But it's really about grinding. It's really about making goals, having dreams, focusing on them, and making them happen. Um, and you gotta shoot your stick at more than one direction to find what you really want to do, and that's in anything in life. I mean, it does not matter what you choose, but just know for a fact that you need to have different routes to get to the destination you want to get at. And don't base your whole game on the destination, man, because the real part of life is your journey. It's the legacy you're going to leave. Because truthfully, the only destination we got is, the grave. That is the only place that everyone is guaranteed to end. If that makes any sense. So make sure that everything in between the dash on your headstone is really coming from the heart, and that you truly enjoy every moment because tomorrow's not promised, and you have to keep it pushing as if you don't have the same chances tomorrow as you did today. So keep that in mind, man. Once again, if anybody wanna hit me up with a quick Q&A, man, or just holler at me, want to get on the podcast, want to be interviewed, just want to speak your mind a little bit, because I'm trying to diversify this thing. I need to make this thing interesting, and I can't just be one deep on this podcast making stuff interesting, man. Y'all know how it is. So hit me up, man. Y'all already know how to holler at me on Facebook, Black Earl, Dr. H.A.A.S page. You can do that. Y'all hit me up on the Earl Nelson Facebook page. That's my original government name on somebody, Earl Nelson Jr. You already know. I don't really do the Twitter, but if you feel the need to tweet, we doing black underscore Earl underscore Haas, BLACK underscore EARL underscore HAAS. Y'all already know. Instagram, you already know. BLACKEARL underscore HAAS. That's Black Girl underscore Haas. Hit me in the DM, man. You already know how to holler at me either which way. But keep it real and keep it original, man. I'm really not into all that old fake shit. You know this already, but I'm serious, man. I'm trying to be a grown up about this thing, man. We all grown ups here, and if I have some young adults listening to this podcast or even some teens, man, thank you for paying attention. Cause I'm not necessarily I don't know how to put it. I'm not really a figure of any kind out there in public, but everybody seems to know who I am. So if you're tuning in, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If there's anything I can help you with, man, feel free to reach out. I'm not considering myself an OG. I've had youngsters telling me I'm an OG. I don't think I'm no type of OG. I don't want nobody to be out there, man, he think he. Listen, I'm just a fella with a little bit of experience in a few different aspects of life. So you know what it is, man. If you like what you hear, tune in once again, man. I still appreciate your time tonight. So y'all know what to do. Holla at me, baby. One.